a minor girl. Nothing. And there the police were very much confused on why this particular incident has happened. And finally, after 5 days, the accused is so much clever that he has covered up so many things. And for this, how come a teenage boy could become so much criminal minded? To discuss on this particular topic, we are joined with a psychologist, Dr. Raghuveer. We are joined with Dr. Raghuveer over Zoom. Dr. Raghuveer, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you for joining us, sir. Sir, frankly speaking, actually, this is a very disturbing thing and very much frankly speaking, when I have seen the press conference of the commissioner, I could not control my emotions, because actually we were all speculating this is a case of theft or a robbery or the molestation, but a new thing has come. This is just a murder for a bat, and the guy and the boy has seen the web series, the crime series, and planned all this. And not only doing the crime, the main thing is how he could cover up for 5 long days. The question is actually, if the technology would not be there, probably this case would not have been unfolded also. So the question, one thing which is haunting the minds of everybody is, what is the change that is occurring in nowadays teens? How come a teenage boy become a so much professional killer? Can you give us?
Sure,
can you guide us, please?
Thank you. So first, I would like to express my deepest condolences to Sahasra family. This is an unimaginable loss. No parent should actually go through such a tragedy. As a child psychiatrist, I must emphasize that this is not just a crime scene. It is a warning sign for the society about what is happening when we actually with the adolescents and all. So let us try and understand the main psychological insights into this. So adolescents are not miniature adults. Their brains have not yet completely developed. The prefrontal cortex, the anterior part of the brain, which governs impulses, are not completely formed. The empathy and the other things are not completely well done. So what happens is, most of the children are loving and they are caring and all. What happens is, when a child is showing aggression, they are lying, there is a lack of remorse, and when we see this repeatedly, these are kind of considered red flags for early intervention.
Yes, Dr. Raghuveer. So one thing actually which is very much, I should not use the word, but interesting part is that the child is craving for a cricket bat. So he knows the value of the cricket bat. He knows that his parents could not afford the cricket bat. But the point that is disturbing is, he doesn't know the value of the life. So we are seeing two diabolic things in the child's brain, that he is a childlike mentality who is craving for a cricket bat, means, and a matured part is, his brain matured part is, he knows that his parents cannot afford the cricket bat, and the criminal side is he don't know the value of the life. He could commit the crime, and more interesting is, he could cover up the crime for 5 long days. How come all these things can be possible in one particular person? That is the haunting question. Can you please guide us? How can this be happening? A child mentality is there, adolescent mentality is there, a criminal is there, and an intelligent cover-up is also there. How come, sir?
Yes. So that's exactly, in this case, for example, if you say that the report suggests that he was carrying a weapon and he attacked when confronted, and this is not an impulsive act. This goes beyond impulsivity. It reflects actually a goal-directed activity, something we see in something called conduct disorders or severe behavioral problems. So such children are, by genetic thing, can be, they have impulse control issues. So they have lack of suppression, and exposure to violence and unaddressed emotional issues actually causes enhancement of these issues. So when this boy actually, there is this impulse that I need a bat, and my parents, from what I understand, they don't belong, they belong to a lower socioeconomic status. And when this is a challenge, he is not able to agree to the conditions, he is not able to suppress his emotions. And when he can see that there is there is a bat available in a particular house and it is kind of empty, and there is a chance that I can basically take it up. He is basically deciding, making a pre-formed plan that we can see from the note that he's doing, and he's executing that plan without, and when he's confronting someone without any prejudice, he's basically taking up and killing this girl, a 9-year-old girl, and actually trying to escape. And as rightly pointed out, if we didn't have the digital evidences, the techniques that we have with new age digital information, this case would have always been a case which could not never be solved. Uh, the children need to be monitored. When the child is basically doing a certain pattern for so long, it rightly points towards a conduct disorder which has been completely missed by parents, or maybe not noticed, or couldn't help it. And this is the case in a lot of children who are coming through the court, we who are actually children in conflict with law. This is what we say, child in conflict with law. A lot of childs have impulse control issues, and they don't actually help themselves with these issues, and they don't get proper help to sort this out.
So one thing, actually, the primary thing is the affordability of a cricket bat. In these particular cases, have
Yes.
you come across any case where poverty could be the reason for any crime?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Poverty is one of the stressor which can increase the chances of, in generally, the brain is actually forming. It is basically maturing, and before the maturity reaches, it kind of is impulsive. It doesn't think about the future events of the consequences and such. And when it doesn't does that, it takes decisions which are not entirely safe or legal, and these all things are basically put in the background. They are not very important at that point of time. And when they are doing such and such, and when even the cost is there, but the point is, I'm thinking emotionally rather than logically. I want the bat versus what are the consequences if I do steal a bat, or what are the consequences if such and certain things will happen. These are all in the background. They are not very important right now. For me, important is my feelings. I need to support my feelings, and that is the only important thing that I have to do. So poverty, basically, when they deprive the child of certain such emotions, the needs, the emotions sometimes take the center stage, and they act impulsively, and in certain conditions, unfortunately, such tragedies do happen.
So frankly speaking, the theft and stealing something from the neighbor's house or from anybody, usually most of the people, even during the previous times when the digital media or these particular crime files or the web series were not there,
Yes,
since ancient times also, stealing, theft by children is a common thing.
yes,
Everybody in their life might have done something or the other, knowingly or
yes,
unknowingly. To be frank, frankly speaking, even I have done a couple of few innocent things when I was a child, especially not as a teen, I have to admit. But planning a theft is something very much crucial in this particular thing. Why should he plan? Why should he
yes.
write something? Because it's just a matter of the theft of his cricket bat. Because means his intention is not to kill somebody. It's just how to steal a cricket bat. He was writing something in that, and he carried a weapon with him. How does this go hand in hand?
So in this child, we can understand that the child, we don't know the history of what the child was going through, but what we can understand, that he had to write it down to basically, that's the reason when I said that this is a goal-directed activity. He was very clear what he wants and how to get it, and what was obstructing his needs, and how he plans to basically get it. Maybe the murder was not a part of his plan, but when confronted with his choice, where either he get caught and face the consequences, he chose to basically kill the only thing which is between himself and the punishment, and basically get away from it. From what I get from the media also, is that this child is also rude to the police, and there is no remorse, as in, I don't care what I have done. So this actually says that the conflict, the issues, the deeper emotional issues have been very old, and have been there for some time, and he's been struggling with them. And this is just maybe one example which came into the light. what he has done. Maybe he has been part and parcel of this antisocial activities for some time. Rightly pointed out when you say that, children do steal, and this has been a common problem, and they do it. As I said, the child's brain hasn't developed yet, so the impulsivity will be there. But to what extent? Will the child basically be impulsive when confronted? He usually basically steps down and say that, okay, this is too above my pay grade, and I would not do such and such. But in this child, when there is no remorse and no heed for the consequences and such, this only tells me that there is a lot more criminal behavior attached to this, and has been there for some time with the child. And this is just one episode which basically we are seeing most probably in his lifetime right for now.
Sir, frankly speaking, this could be the first ever crime. Means this could also
Yeah,
be the first ever crime. We cannot suspect that this is he is
we
a
don't
regular
know that.
criminal.
We don't know that.
Yeah, this could be the first ever crime, but the way he covered up is the main thing in this. Immediately after committing the crime, he went to his home, he bathed,
Yes,
he has washed the clothes also.
yes,
Means he is having a complete idea how to cover up a murder. Probably he got
yes,
influenced by the crime shows or the OTT platforms and all that. But how
yes.
come this much sketch is possible? How means he should be bathing, he should be washing the store, he should be putting it in the washing machine. And the most important thing is that teenage boy, when his father and his mother has asked something, he is so confident in saying that he doesn't know anything. He said that to
Yeah.
the police revealed initially when his mother has asked to the child, um, did he hear the scream? He said that yes, he heard the scream like any neighbor. Means he is so confident in telling a lie to his parent. Means he is confident in lying to the parent also. How do you see this?
Hmm. Exactly. So, as I was saying that in conduct disorder in children, which is also known as antisocial disorder, when this is diagnosed in an adult, the one of the core symptoms of this is lying. They don't mind lying. They can lie really well, and not having remorse, and able to basically have a criminal attitude and such and such. So these all things are there, and they don't actually bother them. So, uh, so most probably this hasn't been the first time the child was lying. So he was able to do it confidently, and when the crime that he has committed is not causing him an emotional strain, emotional burden, he is able to basically brush whatever he has done, and he may justify to himself that I have done this for my own right, for my own well-being, and so this is good enough for me right now. So, and this is what he may believe for himself. And so he is able to lie without any emotional component hindering into it. And apart from all the steps that he has done for it, most of this he may have picked up from most of the OTTs and crime series that he may have seen. And this actually tells me that if he is able to execute this flawlessly and evading the police for 5 years, it only tells me that he is able, he's been researching, or he may be studying, or he may be interested in the criminology and the ways to basically escape for some time maybe. And but however, there is a point of speculation of that also. But his ability to lie flat without any emotions only tells us how much emotionally he is blunted. This event is not affecting him a bit emotionally, and that is something to be wary about, something to be bothered with.
Sir, frankly speaking, not only the OTT platforms, even normal social media also, it is influencing the children, which could not be controlled.
Yes,
Frankly speaking, actually the parents are, to some extent, they can control the OTT because most of the OTTs are the paid. But the censored normal prime like YouTube or even a social media or a Facebook, actually they do not have any they do not require any permissions, they do not have any censors. But even then
yes,
also somewhere or the other, probably what I'm saying is actually he might not even see the crime file, but actually the review, which is not a restricted one, somebody will be telling the story in the YouTube or the Facebook, somebody will be telling the review in this Facebook, that can also be affected on the child's mind. So this particular
correct.
total restriction nowadays is not at all possible. Parents vigilant on children is completely not possible in all the cases. How do you what do you suggest to the parents in this environment?
See, so basically, what you're saying that how to what can be done by the parents or the society to basically do this. If that's the question, we need to understand that if a child is showing aggression, bullying, impulsivity, lying very early on, and this has been a repeated pattern. It's not just one isolated episode that we are seeing, but a repeated pattern that the child is like this. Now, these have to be taken into consideration, and the parents have to be educated that if your child is doing such and such, these are red flags. You need to supervise your children. You need to supervise your teens. What is happening with them? Who they are going around with? There is a greater chance that the child that he may be going around. He may be having gang-like activities. He may be bullying. He may be hitting the the animals or the dogs or the other animals on the road. He may be playing with fire or lighting things on fire or pelting stones or multiple other things may be there, which if identified and caught early, and if they are treated early, the violence has been taken notice and taken into consideration. And if they are shown to a child psychologist or a psychiatrist, they can help them work with them to basically decrease their impulses, either with counseling, therapy, or medications if needed, so that they basically don't have a conflict with the law and become a part and parcel of the society and be okay, they can help the society grow along with them.
Dr. Raghuveer, what exactly you have said is the golden words that the symptoms you have mentioned.
Yes,
But sir, is there any possibility that any child can commit a huge crime without showing any of these things?
yes. There are chances. Most probably, uh, it's. I wouldn't say that a child would actually take such a big step without actually doing any such small things. So, killing a person is a very big thing. So if a person basically without any of these things suddenly basically comes up and kills a person, that would come as a surprise to anyone. But that actually is a rarity. Usually what we have seen in child with conflict of law, we have seen a pattern emerging over time that they, the way they are with children, the things they consider important to them, education which is not important, truancy will be there, they skip schools and all. But in case a child basically is showing up one singular episode, then we need to try and understand what happened, what can be the various other reasons that a child has done such and such. But one single isolated episode, even though in the eyes of the law is different, it falls under the legal ambient. But on a psychological perspective, that can be anything which has come from a self-defense, or maybe a defense from the past, or something that happened as an impulsive act, which cornered separately. But apart from that, it may not be anything to do with a personality thing. It is just that at that point of time, it's more of an accident rather than anything.
Dr. Raghuveer, one more thing I would like to ask you, that why I asked this particular question earlier is there any chance that a child will not be showing anything is, one thing is any
Hmm.
child usually in his class or in his school, he might be a tool of getting bullied by his friends. Means his
Yes,
friends might be thinking that it's a joke, but he
yes,
cannot take it as a joke, and when he reverts,
yes,
that would not be the case. So in this particular case,
yes,
I observed in a few of the children is they would be getting depressed within, and they will not be showing any outrage, because actually they would be knowing that thing that they cannot fight with them. So they would be getting depressed and depressed and depressed, and I am frankly speaking, I do not know whether they will be showing us thing, but this could be one of the cause. Getting bullied, getting ragged, and becoming a criminal like this is also one of the cause, which historically I have seen few cases even before this particular social media or the OTT has emerged. What would you say in those particular cases? How should parents check this particular act of getting bullied?
So the question over here is, if a child is getting bullied over and over again, and the child may at some point basically snap and may become violent. So yes, there is a possibility of such. I'm not saying there is no possibility of such, but we need to take into consideration that such acts are usually impulsive and not planned yet. So we need to understand that bullying and violence have been, there is a lot of evidence. But we need to see that the usually person who is getting bullied can tend to withdraw, tend to get irritable. There will be sudden dropout from schools, and there will be drop in performance, and there is a reluctance to go to school. So when we see all this, and there is indirect signs, like for example, they have damaged belongings, their pencils, books, and others are damaged. And if you have a open communication, that if you ask the child what is troubling you and all, there is a greater chance that we can basically hold this before and treat them. However, instead, when you say that if there is a chance that the child can do this, yes, there is a good chance. But usually, there are many telltale signs before a child basically takes uh, such a severe action, takes the law into their hands, and basically does something very wrong when they know that it should not be done. If we can catch those telltale signs, there is a greater possibility that the child won't get so much distressed. And also, it is important that if you see signs of being, important that involve the teachers early, encourage group activities, and try to resolve, teach assertiveness. These are all the things that we can do to basically help the child.
Thank you, Dr. Raghuveer, for joining us, for spending a valuable time and explaining our viewers the symptoms, especially the most important point. What I come to know about this episode is the symptoms what you have explained, how a child behaves before turning into the criminal. Sir, can you give your closing remarks about once again how parents should be vigilant, apart from snatching the phone and all that, how parents should be vigilant on the turnings of their child?
See, the most important thing is for the parents to understand that the child is growing. Their brain is not as mature as we believe it is, and in the path of maturing, they are going to make mistakes. And if we are not aware, if we are not available to correct those mistakes, the child most probably has a greater tendency to take the wrong path. So even by respecting the privacy of the child, it is compulsory and impedient that you monitor your child's activities, how they are, their emotional status, having an open dialogue, and observe their mood changes, their pattern changes, what they like, they don't like anymore, and they are changing so rapidly. And if you are a part of their journey, there are greater chances that you can observe these changes and correct it, or at least take help if necessary to help the child grow into a better human being.
Thank you very much, Dr. Raghuveer, for joining us, and thank you very much for spending your valuable time. I hope any parent would be getting influenced by you, that this would be a successful program. So ultimately, what you said is parents should invest their time, observe their
Yes.
children. This would be the primary thing to avoid any crime.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So this is what Dr. Raghuveer, the famous child psychologist, has said. One thing I would like to say is, if you have to study all this particular thing in a case, as I have asked initially, the child's brain is not completely mature. He did everything just for a cricket bat. Just for a cricket bat, a life is gone, that too in a very, very horrible way. So the child does not know the value of a life, but he knows the value of a cricket bat. He knows one particular thing, that his parents cannot afford for a cricket bat, so he has stolen. He has drawn a sketch in his diary, and he has gone into the home. When he was confronted by the girl Sahasra, he simply took the weapon and he stabbed mercilessly 21 times. Just for a cricket bat, he mercilessly did a blunder, he mercilessly did the biggest crime. Now, one thing actually I would like to, probably I did not ask the same question to the child psychologist, but the legal thing in this way is, ultimately he will be put in a Boston school. The crime what he did is beyond someone's imagination, but he will not be getting the ultimate punishment in this case just because of this, of his age. He is just a 14-year-old boy, and how he turns once he come out is the main question. And one more thing is, the child, the culprits, parents, no one can repair the loss of what they have lost. a young girl mercilessly killed just for a cricket bat. Now the parents are demanding that the boy should be handed over to them. The parents are asking one particular question: if anybody can commit a crime as an adult or beyond the adultery, how can he be considered as an adolescent? How can he be considered as an innocent? This is the main question. Because what is the thing is, because of his age, he will be put into the Boston school, and later on, after a few years, he will be out of the school and he will be a normal person. But the girl's life cannot return. The parent's life will not be normal again. This is one particular thing what we have to wait and watch. What we have to observe is the children nowadays, frankly speaking, everybody is having the phone in their hand. Everybody is having a phone in their hand. But how much vigilant a parent can be? This is the question what a parent is asking. But you have to invest your time on your child wisely. Yes, everybody is working, both the parents could be working, but you have to invest your time. Otherwise, there is no meaning to work, there is no meaning of your earning, there is no meaning whatever you are living. Many of the cases, parents cannot be found fault because actually they will be very much careful towards their children, but in few of the cases, we will not be able to identify what are the shocks that are going inside the child. Here comes the psychology. This is what I asked to the psychologist. He said that no child can be committing such a blunder all of a sudden. Child could be disturbed. Another interesting scenario is child could be disturbed because of bullying or because of the inferiority complex or whatever it might be. Usually most of the children suffer with this. They will suffer with the inferiority complex, and this is not a new thing. This is not a new thing that has come after these OTTs or after this web series and all that. This has been there since the beginning, since the humanity has started. But at that particular time also, you have to observe whether your child is feeling alone, whether your child needs your support, whether your child needs any help. That is the most important thing every parent should be doing. If not parent, this is the duty of everybody who is related to the child. It could be a sibling, it could be a neighbor, it could be a relative, everybody. If you find anything that child is disturbed, then obviously you have to turn to a psychologist. Obviously you have to turn to a doctor. These things should be taken into the mind because the days are not as simple as before. So this is one particular thing, the digital impact. Apart from digital impact, the vigilance is the most important thing. We will see the visual what the Hyderabad City Commissioner has said about this case.
Papa has చూస్తే ఈయన భయపడి ఇమీడియట్లీ ఆమెకి అక్కడ ఇంట్లో బెడ్రూమ్లో తోసేసి అక్కడ ఆయన దగ్గర ఉన్న ఆయన ఒక నైఫ్ పట్టుకు వెళ్ళాడు. సో ఆ నైఫ్తో హీ స్టాబ్డర్ అండ్ దెన్ వచ్చేసాడు. అండ్ ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ మనకి తర్వాత ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ డీటెయిల్లో చూసేటప్పుడు మన ఐఓస్ రియలైజ్ దట్ ఇనీషియల్ స్టేజెస్లో కూడా ఎగ్జామిన్ ఆయనతో మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు హీ హ్యాడ్ యాక్చువల్లీ మిస్లెడ్ ద ఇన్వెస్టిగేటర్స్ బై టెలింగ్ దట్ నాకు వినిపించింది, పాప అరిచినట్టు వినిపించింది అండ్ 10 o'clock అలా హీ ట్రై టు టెల్ సమ్ స్టోరీ అరౌండ్ దట్. సో బట్ అది అప్పుడు డిఫరెంట్ సర్కమ్స్టాన్సెస్ ఆ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ చేస్తుంటూ అది తెలిసింది తర్వాత. సో బేసికలీ నా ఆ కేసు మొత్తం డిటెక్ట్ అయింది, ద మర్డర్ వెపన్ కూడా రికవర్ అయింది, దాంతోపాటు కొన్ని అదర్ ఎవిడెన్స్, అదనపు ఎవిడెన్స్ కూడా మనకి దొరికింది. సో దాని బేసిస్ మీద మేము ఇప్పుడు కేసుకి ముందుకు తీసుకొని ఫైనలైజ్ చేసేస్తాం. దీని గురించి ఎవరికైనా ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే విల్ టెల్. ఇంకొక కేసు మన ఖజానా జ్యువెలర్స్ గురించి కూడా విల్ టాక్, బట్ దీని గురించి ఏమైనా ఉంటే అడగొచ్చు. చెప్తారు, ఐ థింక్ డీసీపీ బాలనగర్ విల్ టెల్ అబౌట్ ద స్లిప్ అండ్ బ్యాట్ తీసుకొని బయటకు వస్తప్పుడు ఆ పాప హ్యాస్ సీన్ హిమ్, చూసినాక వెంటనే అరిచింది. అరుస్తే ఈయన భయపడి ఇమీడియట్లీ ఆమెకి అక్కడ ఇంట్లో బెడ్రూమ్లో తోసేసి అక్కడ ఆయన దగ్గర ఉన్న ఆయన ఒక నైఫ్ పట్టుకు వెళ్ళాడు. సో ఆ నైఫ్తో హీ స్టాబ్డ్ హర్ అండ్ దెన్ వచ్చేసాడు. అండ్ ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ మనకి తర్వాత ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ డీటెయిల్లో చూసినప్పుడు మన ఐఓస్ రియలైజ్ దట్ ఇనీషియల్ స్టేజెస్లో కూడా ఎగ్జామిన్ ఆయనతో మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు హీ హ్యాడ్ యాక్చువల్లీ మిస్లెడ్ ద ఇన్వెస్టిగేటర్స్ బై టెలింగ్ దట్ నాకు వినిపించింది, పాప అరిచినట్టు వినిపించింది అండ్ 10 o'clock అలా హీ ట్రై టు టెల్ సమ్ స్టోరీ అరౌండ్ దట్. సో బట్ అది అప్పుడు డిఫరెంట్ సర్కమ్స్టాన్సెస్ ఆ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ చేస్తుంటూ అది తెలిసింది తర్వాత. సో బేసికలీ నా ఆ కేసు మొత్తం డిటెక్ట్ అయింది, ద మర్డర్ వెపన్ కూడా రికవర్ అయింది, దాంతోపాటు కొన్ని అదర్ ఎవిడెన్స్, అదనపు ఎవిడెన్స్ కూడా మనకి దొరికింది. సో దాని బేసిస్ మీద మేము ఇప్పుడు కేసుకి ముందుకు తీసుకొని ఫైనలైజ్ చేసేస్తాం. దీని గురించి ఎవరికైనా ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే విల్ టెల్. ఇంకొక కేసు మన ఖజానా జ్యువెలర్స్ గురించి కూడా విల్ టాక్, బట్ దీని గురించి ఏమైనా ఉంటే అడగొచ్చు. చెప్తారు, ఐ థింక్ డీసీపీ బాలనగర్ విల్ టెల్ అబౌట్ ద స్లిప్ అండ్
This is what the entire story is. This is the murder just for a cricket bat, and when the girl confronted the accused, he stabbed her 21 times mercilessly. But the interesting part in this particular episode is how did he cover up? Because actually the parents have also asked her, the police have also asked her, the police could not believe for 5 continuous days. So frankly speaking, this particular case has unfolded because of the technology available, not because of the police. Frankly speaking, I'm not underestimating the police, but if at all this particular technology would not be there, the CC cams or the squads or something, then probably this particular thing would have got permanently unsolved mystery. Let's watch what the DCP Suresh has to say.
పోలీసుల్ని ఆ రోజు మేము ఫస్ట్ రోజే అతన్ని క్వశ్చన్ చేసాం, ఎందుకంటే రెండింటికి జస్ట్ 2 అడుగుల దూరం ఉంటుంది, ఆ ఇంటికి ఈ ఇంటికి పిట్టగోడకి. మేము క్వశ్చన్ చేసాం ఆ ఇంట్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళని, 3rd 4th ఫ్లోర్లో, వీళ్ళు 4th ఫ్లోర్లో ఉంటారు, 3rd ఫ్లోర్ నుంచి వెళ్ళొచ్చు. పోలీసులకి మాకేం చెప్పాడంటే ఆ రోజు నాకు 10:15 ఆ టయానికి డాడీ డాడీ అని గట్టిగా అరుపులు వినిపించాయి అని చెప్పాడు. ఇట్లా ఆ రోజు ఏ రోజైతే అఫెన్స్ జరిగిందో ఆ రోజు మార్నింగ్ 8:30 to 8:45 అతను ఆ గోడ దగ్గర, ఏదైతే గోడ దూకి వెళ్ళే అవకాశం ఉందో ఆ గోడ దగ్గర తచ్చాడాడు అతను చాలాసేపు, ఒక 15 minutes. ఆ సమాచారంతో మా అనుమానం ఇంకా ఎక్కువై, మా అనుమానం నిర్ధారణ అయ్యి అతన్ని మళ్ళీ విచారించాము. ఫస్ట్ ఇల్లు సెర్చ్ చేసాము. ఇల్లు సెర్చ్ చేస్తే మాకు ఈ లెటర్ దొరికింది, అతను రాసుకున్న లెటర్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది. తర్వాత కత్తి కూడా దొరికింది, 3 కత్తులు ఉన్నాయి. ఏ కత్తి అంటే సార్ నల్ల కత్తి, నల్లపిడి ఉంటుంది, దానికి అంచు నల్లగా ఉంటుందని అతనే చెప్పాడు. ఆ కత్తి తీసుకొస్తే ఇదే అని చూపించాడు. అతను అఫెన్స్ చేయగానే ఆ కత్తి అక్కడే కడిగేసి గోడ దూకి మళ్ళీ ఇంట్లోకి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు వాళ్ళ నాన్న సిస్టర్స్ ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళు ఏమైనా చూస్తారేమో అని ఆరేసిన షర్ట్ తీసుకొని ఇట్లా అడ్డం పెట్టుకొని ఇంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి బాత్రూంలోకి వెళ్ళి స్నానం చేసి ఆ టీ-షర్టు ప్యాంటు 2 వాషింగ్ మెషిన్లో వేసాడు. బట్ we found some slight blood on the clothes. We have called a special investigation team, forensic team. వాళ్ళు స్పెషల్ లైటింగ్, స్పెషల్ స్పెట్స్ వాడి దే ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు ఫౌండ్ ఇట్. పోలీసుల్ని ఆ రోజు మేము ఫస్ట్ రోజే అతన్ని క్వశ్చన్ చేసాం, ఎందుకంటే రెండింటికి జస్ట్ 2 అడుగుల దూరం ఉంటుంది, ఆ ఇంటికి ఈ ఇంటికి పిట్టగోడకి. మేము క్వశ్చన్ చేసాం ఆ ఇంట్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళని, 3rd 4th ఫ్లోర్లో, వీళ్ళు 4th ఫ్లోర్లో ఉంటారు, 3rd ఫ్లోర్ నుంచి వెళ్ళొచ్చు. పోలీసులకి మాకేం చెప్పాడంటే ఆ రోజు నాకు 10:15 ఆ టయానికి డాడీ డాడీ అని గట్టిగా అరుపులు వినిపించాయి అని చెప్పాడు. ఇట్లా ఆ రోజు ఏ రోజైతే అఫెన్స్ జరిగిందో ఆ రోజు మార్నింగ్ 8:30 to 8:45 అతను ఆ గోడ దగ్గర, ఏదైతే గోడ దూకి వెళ్ళే అవకాశం ఉందో ఆ గోడ దగ్గర తచ్చాడాడు అతను చాలాసేపు, ఒక 15 minutes. ఆ సమాచారంతో మా అనుమానం ఇంకా ఎక్కువై, మా అనుమానం నిర్ధారణ అయ్యి అతన్ని మళ్ళీ విచారించాము. ఫస్ట్ ఇల్లు సెర్చ్ చేసాము. ఇల్లు సెర్చ్ చేస్తే మాకు ఈ లెటర్ దొరికింది, అతను రాసుకున్న లెటర్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది. తర్వాత కత్తి కూడా దొరికింది, 3 కత్తులు ఉన్నాయి. ఏ కత్తి అంటే సార్ నల్ల కత్తి, నల్లపిడి ఉంటుంది, దానికి అంచు నల్లగా ఉంటుందని అతనే చెప్పాడు. ఆ కత్తి తీసుకొస్తే ఇదే అని చూపించాడు. అతను అఫెన్స్ చేయగానే ఆ కత్తి అక్కడే కడిగేసి గోడ దూకి మళ్ళీ ఇంట్లోకి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు వాళ్ళ నాన్న సిస్టర్స్ ఉన్నారు. వాళ్ళు ఏమైనా చూస్తారేమో అని ఆరేసిన షర్ట్ తీసుకొని ఇట్లా అడ్డం పెట్టుకొని ఇంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి బాత్రూంలోకి వెళ్ళి స్నానం చేసి ఆ టీ షర్టు ప్యాంటు రెండు వాషింగ్ మెషిన్లో వేసాడు. బట్ వీ ఫౌండ్ సమ్ స్లైట్ blood on the clothes. We have called a special investigation team, forensic team. వాళ్ళు స్పెషల్ లైటింగ్ స్పెషల్ స్పెట్స్ వాడి దే ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు ఫౌండ్ ఇట్. పోలీసుల్ని ఆ రోజు మేము ఫస్ట్ రోజే అతన్ని క్వశ్చన్ చేసాం, ఎందుకంటే రెండింటికి జస్ట్ 2 అడుగుల దూరం ఉంటుంది, ఆ ఇంటికి ఈ ఇంటికి పిట్టగోడకి. మేము క్వశ్చన్ చేసాం ఆ ఇంట్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళని. 3rd 4th ఫ్లోర్లో, వీళ్ళు 4th ఫ్లోర్లో ఉంటారు, 3rd ఫ్లోర్ నుంచి వెళ్ళొచ్చు. పోలీసులకి మాకేం చెప్పారంటే ఆ రోజు నాకు 10:15 ఆ టయానికి డాడీ అని గట్టిగా అరుపులు వినిపించాయి అని చెప్పాడు. ఇట్లా ఆ రోజు ఏ రోజైతే అఫెన్స్.
This is what the DCP Suresh has to say, that initially his father has asked, and the police have also asked, did he hear any scream, and he politely said that yes, he did heard few screams, but he did not pay so much attention. This is what, frankly speaking, actually the murder, how it has taken, this is the murder just for a cricket bat, he stabbed. So this particular thing, that particular episode has finished. But what the interesting part since the beginning, what I have been saying, is the way he covered up is something we should keep in mind, that how could he be so much planned in this particular case. Initially he stabbed the girl, and later he went and he covered up his body with the clothes which are dried in the balcony, and he went inside with that covered up clothes, and he bathed, he washed the knife in the house of the culprit itself. So everything crystal clear, he is very much clean in committing this particular murder. 5 days is not a joke for police to untrace or unfold this particular mystery. So the way he committed murder is one particular thing, and the way he covered up is purely we have to watch how could be so much planning is possible in the brain of a 15-year-old adolescent. Now the next particular point, what the demand from the girl's parents is, how could he not be punished when he has committed a crime like an adult. This is one which obviously every POSCO case will be challenged, everything, because actually the age number, be it even the Nirbhaya case also, everybody was hanged out, but only one particular minor is still alive. He is getting the government benefits also, but the crime what everybody has committed is the same. They have raped and murdered a lady, but this particular thing is beyond someone's imagination. So parents, keep vigilant on your child. This is the end of this particular special bulletin, but my sincere request would be continuous. Parents, be